Hi, I'm CACI lawyer Tate Lounsbery, and I want to answer the question, how long does a minor stay on the Child Abuse Central Index? So the factual scenario is someone who is, say, 16 years old is accused of committing child abuse and is then placed on the Child Abuse Central Index. How long does that minor's name stay on the CACI? And the answer is for 10 years from the date of the incident of the alleged abuse. So it's not 10 years from being listed on the CACI, it's 10 years from the date of the alleged abuse. Now, is the Child Welfare Agency going to proactively, 10 years from now, remove the person's name from the index? Probably not. We don't know for sure yet. But it doesn't seem that way. And so what I recommend is if you are a 17-year-old whose name was put on the CACI, 10 years from the date of that incident, go back to the Child Welfare Agency or send them a letter instructing them that it has now been 10 years and they are legally required to have your name removed from the Child Abuse Central Index, and then make sure that they do that. Now, one of the interesting things that sometimes comes up is someone is accused to have committed abuse as, say, a 16-year-old, and now it's 3 years later, and the accused person is 19, and that's when the allegation arises. So let's say we have a 16-year-old, a 19-year-old boy who is accused of committing abuse 3 years ago when he was 16. And so CPS is just now finding out about it, the Child Welfare Agency, when he's 19, and they say, oh, well, 3 years ago you committed abuse, and so now we're going to put you on the index. And so the person is actually put on the index when he's an adult, when he's 19 years old, for something that allegedly happened 3 years in the past when he was a minor. So how long does that person stay on the CACI for? Is it for just 10 years from, in other words, another 7 years, so 10 years from the date of the incident when he was 16? Or is he put on the CACI as an adult and therefore he's on the CACI for the rest of his life? Essentially, adults put on the CACI are on there until they turn 100 years old. So essentially for the rest of your life. So is that person treated as an adult or treated as a minor? There's no clear statutory rule. The statute doesn't exactly tell us. Most child welfare agencies that I've spoken with, most county council that I've spoken with, agree with me that the individual should only be on there for the 10 years. In other words, should be treated as a minor. But there may be other counties that will disagree with that point of view. And so if that is your situation, I recommend that you go back to the agency 10 years from the date of the alleged incident and instruct them to have your name taken off the CACI. Now, if you are just finding out that you are listed on the Child Abuse Central Index for an allegation that supposedly happened when you were minor, you really want to make sure that you get your name off, because what's going to happen in the next 10 years? Are you going to want to go in the military? Are you going to want to go to college? Do you know what kind of field you want to be working in? Do you know what industry you're going to be working in? Sometimes as a minor, the life paths will change, and you don't know exactly what path your life is going to take. And so to allow yourself the most freedom, the most options, you really want to get your name off the Child Abuse Central Index, and I highly recommend you fight your case and do it now. If you wait, you may not have an opportunity later on. So go to CACILawyer.com, that's C-A-C-I lawyer.com. Go to the Frequently Asked Questions page, and you will get all your answers to all of your questions right on that page. Good luck.